Don't wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you don't do. Well, I'ma make hella sure that I don't become you. I have no regrets, yeah, I'll tie up my chest. I'll never forget what it's like to be in debt. Been stabbed in the back bed, I'll show you what happens. Pass me the mic and I'll show you with action. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right and see life do what you want. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right and see life do what you want. So give me all the scars, I'm a human being. Cover them with tattoos so you can't see. Knew it from the start, you had problems with me and the things I could be, I just wish I had seen. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right and see life do what you want. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right and see life do what you want. Don't wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you don't do. Well, I'ma make hella sure that I don't become you. I have no regrets, yeah, I'll tie up my chest. I'll never forget what it's like to be in debt. Been stabbed in the back bed, I'll show you what happens. Pass me the mic and I'll show you with action. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right and see life do what you want. So fight and for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right and see life do what you want. So give me all the scars, I'm a human being. Cover them with tattoos so you can't see. Knew it from the start, you had problems with me and the things I could be, I just wish I had seen. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right and see life do what you want.
Hello and welcome to the chaos. I did unmute myself. I'm nailing it today. And today we are finishing up I Love You, Colonel Sanders. Because after my failure yesterday, need to fix that. Hey, Death Pilot! I did not preload the game this time because I need everyone to see the opening, the anime intro opening. So oh, you weren't here yesterday. Also, new background. We're at the new computer. It's lovely, isn't it? I can't believe I live at the same time this game exists. We're just gonna hop right in it and finish seducing the Colonel. Right? Like, they didn't need... KFC didn't need to go this hard, but they did. I thought I got all... Oh, it's gonna make me start from here? Oh, that's fine. I mean, we're not. Colonel Sanders is. Because that's just his thing. Today's the day that could change the rest of your life. You think about the new secret ingredient you just learned about. Blank. In some jurisdictions, blank isn't even legal. But if the recipe is a secret, how will they know? Your thoughts are interrupted by Colonel Sanders emerging into the room. Look at him. Glorious. He's holding a gorgeous plated breakfast. Your mouth waters at the sight of it. Here's a simple breakfast I just whipped up. So this is a game. It's a dating sim where your entire goal is to seduce or I guess fall in love with the fast food icon, Colonel Sanders himself. This man here. It was a marketing ploy created by KFC that honestly is right up there with the chicken gaming console, KFC. And I should also point out that in reality, when Colonel Sanders became Colonel Sanders, he was also, like, really old. Was, like, in his 60s or 70s, so you're seducing a 60 or 70-year-old man, but he looks like that. And is also at cooking school. There's a lot to unpack in this game. It's meticulous. You taste Colonel Sanders' food and it takes you on a journey. When you return, he's waiting for you to ask an important question. So, would you say we're the perfect match? How presumptuous. My cuisine and your taste buds, that is. Smooth. Such confidence, such grace. He could be the world's greatest gift to cookery. Flatter him, because I took him down a peg last time and he got really upset with me. You know, I think we might make a great team. Also, you weren't here yesterday for this one either. Colonel Sanders, the actual person, was known for being a really hard guy to work with. Like, just an awful guy to work with. And he got into fist fights quite often. So, of course, in order to truly leave my mark on what Colonel Sanders would absolutely love, my name is violence. Because that is all he ever really loved in life, was violence and chicken. A single tear begins to pool in the corner of his eye as he gazes out the window. With the right business partner, I know I can't fail. Business partner? Could he be talking about you? It's all happening so quickly. Overcome with emotions and confused by your feelings, you're on the verge of tears, unable to speak. The only answer you can find is to run out the door and get home. I do not know what barototrauma? I don't know what that one is. There's still one more day of school, after all, at the University Cooking School Academy of Learning. Waits for no one. I still don't know what one that is. You get home and find essentially a horror. Oh, fun! You get home and find something very surprising. Your best friend is there waiting for you. Where have you been? Because I had one heck of a night. I've been desperate to talk to you about it, but I couldn't find you. I got worried that something had happened to you. It's okay, I was just... But now it turns out you're fine, and I can finally get you up to speed on the saga of Miriam. Sure, but you will not believe what happened to me after school yesterday. I went on a date. Thanks. I get told that a lot. I'm very dramatic. I'm known for that in real life, too. I went on a date! I think I can believe that. And since you partnered me up with Clank, which I don't know if Foxy's here. She watched yesterday. I paired her up with a little boy yesterday, and I changed my mind real quickly when I had to re-go through it. So she's now dating a robot. His name is Clank. He asked me to go out with him. Of course, I told him you better keep your dials turned to polite and respectful. I'm not that kind of girl. But he was just interested in spending time one-on-one together and getting to know me. So, yeah, sure, I can get to know a little metallic guy. Long story short, he took me skydiving with his friends, but things quickly spiraled out of control. Did she just say skydiving as if it's a typical first date to go on? With a talking pressure cooker? There's a lot to unpack in that sentence. And now I'm not really sure where we stand. I'm surprised you're standing at all. You went skydiving with a robot. I don't give Miriam time to tell me your whole story. However, bottling up the details of your own night is just too much to bear. And I went on a date too, back to Colonel Sanders' house, where I spent the night with him. You what? Nothing happened, but the emotional connection? Wowzers. Miriam offers to support you no matter what you do, because Miriam's a great friend. Together with your bestie, you feel like you can do anything. When you arrive at school, you encounter your rivals in the quad. You can tell in the distance they're picking on Pop, though he himself might not quite grasp that fact. Because, you know, he's Pop. What's the swirly? It sounds delicious. Oh, it's great. I'll order you one right away. I'll have my swirly with sprinkles, please. Sprinkles is a dog and a treat. You can get your swirly dipped, too. Why don't you pick on someone your own size? Because I'm literally the biggest person in this school. This is Van the Man, actual legal name. And you wouldn't know it by how it's spelled there. This is Ashley. They're our rivals. There's a horse that Colonel Sander rides to school, but who would dare pick on such a gentle, beautiful creature? You've got some nerve, Violence, suggesting that I pick on a defenseless horse. Basically. Now you're twisting my words. I wouldn't have. You clench your fist, but the injury from yesterday's mixer accident keeps you wincing with pain. I have to admit, I hopped off stream yesterday to start working on doing some bread for dinner. And I was very tempted to shove my hand into the mixer. What about all of this is the confusing part? Because I know it's all of it. But what's confusing you specifically? Doesn't look like you can go cooking like that. Might as well just give up. I'll never give up. Ever. Colonel Sander arrives as it appears things are getting close to a boiling over. A natural, intuitive person, he senses something has been going on. When it comes to how things are spelled in English, so that's a whole different One, English is stupid. That's the best way I have to put it. The way that we spell things in English is incredibly stupid. And honestly, if I had to pick in the language that I think has a better like spelling set, it would be Japanese, because the letters are sounds and those sounds don't change. Where with English you can have there, all spelled different ways. And they all mean different things. Or you can have the same word, like read and read, that mean two different things. English is stupid. What is your like primary language, Death Pilot? As Colonel Sanders arrives, just going over. There we go. Is everyone excited for the final day of school? Violence, how's that hand feeling? She'll be back to fighting form by this afternoon. No, you never told me. I kind of figured looking at like my stream summaries, but I never knew for sure. But that's good to know. You told me what time it is, and I tried to figure it out from that, but I'm not. Time frames or time changes confuse me. I have a hard enough time trying to talk to my friends that live a couple thousand miles away. They live like on the other side of the US, and they're 3 hours ahead. I gave up. I just text them at a time that seems like it should be ungodly early for me, and they're usually awake. Oh, there's three different time zones in the US alone. Just across the US. Aren't you concerned about my hands, Colonel? Oh yeah, no, there is 4. I just didn't know anyone in like the main area where that fourth split is. Yeah, East, Midwest, Pacific. I'm on Pacific time. If that helps you, Pacific time here. Aren't you concerned about my hands, Colonel? Yesterday I almost broke a nail winning so hard. Technically, I don't believe that a winner was decided, but your presentation was quite impressive. What's he doing complimenting her? What about the flavor of my delicate, warm, gooey chocolate sauce? Look at his face. It was clear your presentation was about... It's clear you're passionate about how your food is received. Hello, welcome. That's a lot of words to say it was bland. Excuse me, Violence. I'm more than capable of speaking for myself. One word, Japanese. Maybe you could tell me more about your thoughts as we walk to class, Colonel. I'm always interested in discussing the fine arts of fine food. See you inside, Violence. Annoyed by Colonel Sanders' inability to see Ashley for who she really is, you walk across the quad to get some distance. Ugh. In an attempt to distract yourself from how slighted you feel by the interaction with Ashley, you take out the spell book you recovered yesterday and start flipping through the pages. How do I catch anyone up? This spell book we got from fighting a mashed potato spork monster. Don't ask. Don't ask. I don't know. Whoa, what's that book? It looks like bad news. It's just something I found lying around. It would appear it's some sort of grimoire. But I don't really believe in that magic stuff. It was a turn-based action fight. So, much like the original Pokemon. A grimoire? Like a book of spells? I don't know. Who would spend so much time decorating a magic book if it weren't really powerful? Turn-based combat. I think of one surefire way to find out. Given a page covered with arcane warnings. Cast only in case of extreme emergencies. It says around the edge of the page. I could use this spell here and say it, and it will erase anyone I choose from all of my memories. If I scrub out Colonel Sanders, it would probably help me focus better on the upcoming final exam. You got new braces? That's way drastic. Couldn't you do something else, like anything else not rooted in dark magic? Maybe tie a string around your finger? I don't doubt it. I've heard that getting braces is awful. That they're like no fun. Okay, fine. It is drastic. But desperate times call for desperate measures. You've got a memory erasing spell sitting right in front of you, and a pretty good excuse to try it out. Note to anyone who plays this, don't do it. Ah, yes. Summon the chicken demons. You take your friend's advice and put the book away. It's almost time for class. This is the teacher. His name is Sprinkles. Sprinkles is already in the room, waiting for students to arrive. Where am I? He clears his voice to make a quick announcement. I want you all to know I feel something of a dog moment coming on, but I assure you it's nothing to be afraid of. His cute little nose scrunches up and he begins to breathe quickly. Dogs can be rather unpredictable, especially with Sparkles. Wait and see what happens. He must be hungry. Reach for some old homework to give him a snack. We're gonna wait to see what happens because I think he has zoomies. Stops in his track. He focuses on the window. The room is deadly silent. Follow the gray. You see a tiny orange squirrel perched on a cherry tree outside. Sprinkles turns feral and runs out the window of the classroom. Begins barking uncontrollably at the squirrel outside. Terrence! I told you never to come back here! Terrence! I will destroy you, Terrence! Sprinkles is barking furiously, drool flying off his face. The squirrel looks over, doesn't say anything back. You wonder, is it even a talking squirrel? Who named him Terrence? You better not show your chubby cheeks around here ever again! Hello, welcome to the stream. After Sprinkles is satisfied with his presence has been felt by not only Terrence, but any other squirrels in hearing distance, he returns to his professional tone. Apologies for the outburst. This actually brings up an important point. Thank you, Violence, for reminding me to dole out indispensable bits of wisdom. You see, but before you can go any farther, Miriam's love drama spills over into the class. Sprinkles is interrupted by whirls and sparks coming from the back of the room. Miriam, I told you to save it for after class. Bzzzt, bzzzt. You think I wanted to be thrown from a plane strapped to a stranger? That's the only accurate response to this entire game, man. Miriam and Clank appear to be arguing, but you still haven't learned to speak Clank's language of mechanical noises. Whirr. But no! You had to show off your cool kid friends Jeff and Joan. J forever. Watch us form a triangle in midair as we descend. Triangle's the strongest shape, don't you know? Bzzzt, bzzzt. Yeah, well, that doesn't make a great date. Beep. Whirr. Then take Jeff and Joan with you. You can hold hands as you pedal down the mountain, off a cliff for all I care. Beep. Clank begins to shudder, steam pouring out as the gape in his panels, and then a loud ding stops him in his tracks. Beep. Zzzt. I think Clank died. No amount of seasoning is gonna make me want to eat that, Clank. Clank burped out a completely deep-fried sneaker. Considering that he himself has wheels and not feet, it's not entirely clear where it came from. That's fair. In terms of deep-fried footwear, I guess it looks okay. Clank slowly rolls out of the room to be alone with his shoe. Everyone tries to pretend like they didn't see the entire thing go down. Nothing like a loud public breakup to cast pall over a final day of school. Well, that was unfortunate. But we mustn't be distracted from what lies ahead. The final competition showdown challenge exam TM! Still working on a title, but I think you get it. Test time approaches. See you all in the arena. Before you can think about your upcoming competition, there's a very beautiful soul nearby that needs a pep talk. Hey, Miriam, are you okay? Okay, I'm so mad I could smash a tiny mug, spilling several droplets of hot cocoa all over the floor. I have not played Personal? I don't think so. I haven't played that one, no. Persona? No, I haven't played that one either. Or I haven't played that one. How could he embarrass me like that? In class like that, in front of everyone. Her tiny cocoa is a delicious treasure, so you know this breakup is no joke. Even if it were the source of her frustrations, is such a silly boy. I know that you know this, but I'm gonna say it out loud. You don't need anyone. Me and you, we're gonna cruise through the final test and hit the carpool lane to Success City. Miriam brightens up, imagining the wind rushing through her short bangs, but she hesitates to embrace the feeling all the way. You're not gonna be saddled up with Colonel Sanders' stallion riding off into the sunset without me? Of course not. Well, maybe. Sorta, but I'm sure there's a pony out there with your name on it, and a big ranch enough for both of us and whoever else we want to bring along. If not Pop or Clank, anyone else you meet today, tomorrow, or the whole year, so what? You're a special person who shouldn't settle for the first someone to show a little interest anyhow. Miriam gives you a big hug and wipes the tears from her cheeks. You should really review my menu for today. I'm gonna make a very special soup. And I bet that Professor Dog's gonna love it up. While you were pep-talking Miriam, you completely missed lunch. But that's okay, because you have a better idea of how to spend the time before your exam. You've decided to head to the arena early to practice a dish. This is it. A storm today? Oh god, I wish we could get a storm. I mean, we had a storm, but it's starting to warm up here, and I don't want it. I'd prefer to have stormy weather. Not stormy like where you are, because I hear that's really bad. Oh, it's warm and stormy. Ugh. Hate that. Hate that. Never mind. Change my mind. That's awful. I hate when it's warm and stormy. Like hot rain, bane of my existence. If it's not cold, I don't want it. Hate it so much. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. This is it, the location of your final challenge. A test of will, a test of courage, a test of talent. And a chance to beat the pants off of Van, the supposed man-man, and his eviler counterpart, Ashley. As planned, you begin to run through a quick test of recipes you've been working on. Violence's famous chicken pot pie. After practicing for months, making this dish comes second nature to you, and you're able to quickly get a fresh pot pie in the oven. But as soon as you do, your cram session is interrupted by Colonel Sanders and a flurry of cherry blossoms, which is probably very against health codes. Violence, what are you doing here? There's still time before the final exam. Oh god. I cannot imagine. Well, I can't imagine the amount of snow that you get in May. It's not uncommon for us to get snow in May. It was snowing until when I think we had a snowstorm like May 1st, and then last week it hit like 80 degrees, and that was within like the course of like 2 weeks of each other. But we don't get nearly as much snow as you guys do. Oh, just taking it all in. I'm big into visualizing success. I'm looking at my station and picturing victory. The pot pies begin to bake and the smell slowly fills the space around you. Visualizing, huh? That's not bad. I was hoping you were here cooking something delicious. Fahrenheit. The good old US of A needing to be different than the rest of the world. Fahrenheit. I know a little bit of Celsius. like the big numbers. Or like the primary numbers, like 30 degrees Celsius is 90 degrees Fahrenheit, 0 degrees Celsius is 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Which Celsius makes so much more sense, but that's a whole nother -12. That would be like -12 Celsius. That'd be like what? Hold on. I have a separate computer set up here. I got this. Got this. 10 degrees. Okay, 10 degrees. Like 6. That's not too far. That's not an uncommon thing for where we are either, though. I was hoping you were in here cooking something delicious. You're usually happy to share your food with anyone who's hungry, but the last time you let Colonel Sanders get in your head, it cost you a cook-off. You decide that it's time to put your cooking above your romantic desires, but that decision gets hard to stick to when the oven timer goes off behind you. You're gonna burn the school down if you ignore it. Okay, you got me. I'm doing a little bit more than visualizing. I know, my nose can smell a pot pie at 400 yards. That's an oddly specific distance, but you'd expect nothing less from such an oddly specific man. You knew it was a pot pie just from the smell? Not just a pot pie, but a chicken pot pie, with an all-butter crust. I haven't made a pot pie in a long time. I want to do that again. My nose is telling me something else. Oh no. Is it burning? Haha, no. I can smell it was made with a heap and helping of TLC. So it's like I mean, it'll show it in a second, but it's like little pieces of chicken and vegetables all put together in like a pie. It's like chicken, peas, carrots, sometimes potatoes, I think. Moment of truth. That's a chicken pot pie. Wow. The best pot pie I've ever tasted. I always loved country cooking, and I could eat this all day. There's no time left. The final showdown is about to begin. Sprinkles lays down the ground rules. There are no rules, that is, except to cook with everything you've got. You step up to the cook-off of a lifetime. You decide that mac and cheese plus the pot pie you've been practicing are just the dishes to put you over the edge to victory. I was waiting to see how long it would be for them to bring mac and cheese into this. Meanwhile, both Van and Ashley are prepping wildly elaborate dishes, per their usual over-the-top selves. Miriam has her giant magnifying glass and several sets of tweezers. She's definitely prepared to go big, going small. Colonel Sanders seems to be harnessing 11 herbs and spices, but he's trying to find a way to improvise something perfect. His original recipe. All rights reserved. Fried chicken. The intensity of the room starts at a full 10 out of 10. The frenzy of action. Everyone calls out really cool special cooking moves as they prepare their food. Wow, this is getting serious. Colonel Sanders batters his chicken as it levitates through the air. Egg wash! Miriam furiously injects ingredients into an itty-bitty pot of broth. Best friend! Baster Blaster! I read that wrong. Van flexes his predacles and chops open a sea urchin. You killed someone with your cooking yesterday, man. Let's rock and roid. That's not surprising. Ashley scoops her pastries from the tray with lightning speed. Shallow personality spatula! Accurate. Even Clank's getting in on it. 5-dial pressure point chicken cooking technique! Wait, did Clank just speak English? It's the singularity. It was foretold! We mustn't let it happen, or the appliance uprising will take us all! Self-destruct. Van quickly unplugs Crank and rolls him out the back door of the arena. As you frantically prepare your dish, you notice Ashley has the spellbook out. She gonna use some dark magic to turn the tide? You've got the book of your own. You're desperate not to see her win another battle. You should take the opportunity to fight magic with magic, even if it's almost certainly evil magic. I want to cast the spell. However, the last time it was a really bad choice that made me restart the entire game. So we're just gonna do it the hard way. Who needs magic when you've got passion? I'm gonna do it the hard way. Colonel Sanders sees you have chosen to win on your own terms, and he gives you a subtle wink from across the room. I believe in you, Violence. Miriam notices too. I've always believed in you, Violence, since we were little kids, because you're my best friend forever. You turn to notice Miriam is at your station cheering you for you. Miriam, what about your gist? You've been cheering. Who is cooking? Tiny food, short cook time. I'm actually already done. So I thought I'd help you. Oh, that's sweet, but Miriam tosses a handful of spices directly into your boiling noodles. It's the secret ingredient! Oh, no. However, she doesn't know that you lied. The ingredient was made up. And where in the world did she get Eye of Newt from? The pot boils out. The boiling pot explodes, sending Miriam flying backwards, and the watery noodles begin to swirl in the air, bubbling up into a dark cloud that thickens and congeals before your very eyes. 'Tis I, Steve, the Spork Monster! Steve? Wait, what happened to Bork? You're not here to battle me, are you? We Spork Monsters are many. I think Borko had today off. But you've had Conjured Steve, and I hate to battle, so I'd say you're pretty alright. Oh, hey, you're in the middle of some crazy cooking competition? I love this stuff. It's better than TV. You crazy kids and your culinary skills really impress me. Mind if I hang out? I'm sorry, Steve, but I'm kind of in the middle of something. Do you mind? Steve the Spork Monster noticed you've got a grimoire stashed beneath your cooking station. I see what you're up to. Crisscross some magic items and accidentally summon me, huh? Ha. Yeah, you guessed it, sorta. If you're here, would you mind tossing me some fresh noodles in a salted pot of water? I'd love to. I've always wanted to be a top chef, actually. You know what? When I was just a little spork pup back in the old country. You can feel Spork Monster winding up to tell you a very long and involved story. You don't know exactly where it came from, but it seems like it's probably lonely there. Actually, you know what? Maybe you should watch from the stands. I really need to focus on the competition. I understand. It's kind of like that time at monster school when I had fallen asleep during scare tactics class, and when I woke up, he tosses a serious stare at Steve, and he takes the hint. Never mind, I'll tell you later. Good luck. You suffered a setback, but you know you can win. They mean this seriously, because the first time I'm like, nah, I want to sleep in. I slept through the school year, so... No. I can do this. I have what it takes. I came here to win. Your hair turns mac and cheese orange as culinary energy flows through your body. Super Cheese Saiyan. My heart is pure. My hand is steady. My taste buds have prepared their entire lives for... Yes, Violence, you are the chosen one. You will avenge me. The power you summon immediately fades back out. You're interrupting my inspiring monologue. Sorry. My heart is pure. My hands are steady. My taste buds have been prepared for their entire lives for this moment. I will show the world my cookery. Begin to levitate from the ground. Energy's coursing through your body. You know with that power you can do anything. Except turn back time. Which would be super useful because you've already powered up and your chicken pot pie overcooked in the oven and can't be served. But don't worry, dear Violence. You may have suffered some setbacks. But all is not lost. Impressed by your fortitude, Colonel Sanders decides that you have earned his support. I've been watching you today, and I must say I'm truly impressed. You've been thinking on your feet and rolling with the punches. He steps up to your station and stands right beside you. I'm here to help. All you've managed to make is mac and cheese, and the time is almost up. So you're going to need it. But Colonel Sanders, what about the test? What will happen to you? What about the rules? Following the rules never really been my thing. I follow my heart. My heart often tells me to punch men in the face. But not today. Today I'm going to punch your chicken pot pie in the face. What a guy. Colonel Sanders unfolds a delicate white towel to reveal the most delicious fried chicken tender you've ever laid your eyes on. And besides, sometimes unexpected combinations can be surprisingly effective that surpass the individual efforts. Are you suggesting if we combine forces, we can form the perfect food union? Time's up, students! With time expired, it's the moment everyone's been waiting for. You must prepare to present your dishes. A handful of students stand tall, but the class seems incomplete. Seems like we're missing some students. Pop? Clank? From off-screen, you hear pure innocent giggle that can only come from one student. I'm flying! Sounds like it's coming from the broom closet over there. Miriam, would you mind? Inside the closet, you see Pop hanging on a broom, hooked by the elastic of his underpants. Pop, get down from there right now! Let me guess, did Van have something to do with this? When someone asks for a wedgie, who am I to refuse? I thought a wedgie was a salad. Looks like Pop is eliminated from the challenge, seeing as he didn't cook anything. I can't feel my legs. May I be excused? Sure. You kids and your pranks, I must say, it's not the worst prank in UCS AL history. But it's not exactly yearbook material. Wait a second, pranks. Pranks. Clank! Where did the pressure cooker roll off to? You wait to hear the signature whirl and beep and other onomatopoeias, but there's none. Somehow he must have gotten unplugged, I guess. We'll have to figure that out later. That leaves only 4 remaining students. Please collect your final projects. Yes, it has been a long semester of 3 days. Yeah, Van, I think that's the joke. I think they were just like, yep, this character, we're gonna put him in the KFC game. It's been a long semester. Wow, 3 whole days long. But after days of hard work, the time has come for me to eat. Miriam, please step forward. Now, describe your dish. I've made tender udon noodles and savory soup. My word, it's so delicate. Is that teeny tiny origami spy afloat in the itsy bitsy bowl? Yes, chef. Please call me Sprinkles. Chef is my father's name. Yes, Sprinkles. And some green tea made from baby tea leaves that I picked myself. Sprinkles carefully sniffs around the dish before opening his mouth and letting just the tip of his pink dog tongue dip into the bowl. Sublime! Would anyone else like a taste? Oh, come on. I'm not one of those dogs who doesn't floss. I even have a really cute electric toothbrush for dogs. Fine, I'll enjoy it all by myself. And in a flash, the entire meal has been devoured. Not that it took much. It was less than a thimble's worth of soup. A+! Rarely do I taste a dish with as much love poured into it as yours. Miriam is overjoyed. She gives you a huge hug. Thank you, Violence, for helping me believe in myself. Van, you're up! Now, describe your dish. I made uni over smooth egg cutter with axe hew urchin shell topped with caviar. That sounds disgusting. Not gonna lie, that sounds awful. Did you skewer one type of urgent with a spine from a second different colored type of urgent? Yes, sprinkles! A bit much, don't you think? That's exactly why I did it. A bit much is kind of my brand. Doesn't it look cool? Yeah, no, I'm like super allergic to anything that comes from the water. Like not just seafood or shellfish, like all fish. Anything that lives in the water, super, super allergic to. So not only is that a death trap, but it's a death trap that sounds bad. Sprinkles leans in to sniff the uni, but he can't get his nose close on account of all of the spikes. He begins to paw at it erratically, causing the custard to slosh around. Woof, woof! Please be gentle with my cuisine! Finally, Sprinkles goes all in, tongue first, but he can't get past all the needles. He reels back as his tongue is poked and prodded. Youch! My tongue! The professor appears to be having an allergic reaction to the sting. Oh, I can't eat this. It keeps poking my tongue. Disqualified! A stunning turn of events. Who would have thought that serving food in a bowl made of needles could be so difficult to eat? Dejected, Van does not go gently into the night. Disqualified? For glamour? Don't discount sympathies. This isn't the last you've heard of me. Before forcing us to endure his swollen tongue another minute, Sprinkles graciously laps at a bowl of milk. I know, I'm a dog and I drink milk. Get over it. Sometimes it helps calm my aggravated tongue. Next student, Ashley, it's time to step up. Now describe your dish. Her thighs, though. I made orange blossom Turkish delight in a light rosewater syrup topped with French meringue and connected with sugar glass. They're really pretty. They are a bit extra. That actually doesn't sound too bad. Indeed, it's quite delightful. However, I ask that you please refrain from eating or attempting to taste it in any way. It's very fragile and meant for display only. Don't eat the food at a cooking school? Gotta taste toast in your ears or something, Violence? I told you, it's a display piece. Ashley, I must say, it is beautiful. However, this is a cooking competition at a cooking school. Yeah, which is why I cooked it. And I did an extremely good job cooking it, too. I didn't realize that we were having an eating exam. If I wanted to be judged on eating, I'd go to College of Eating, School for the Hungry. I suppose you could smell it if you absolutely insist, but don't breathe too hard. It might disrupt the sugar spirals. If a food cannot be eaten, it cannot be judged. You are disqualified. How? This has been a turn of events. Rage overtakes Ashley. She finally cannot keep her two-faced routine up. You would know high-end cuisine if it cooked you. And with that, Ashley storms off to redirect herself at being the best, but this time without being shackled by trying to be fake nice and liked by everyone. Since the last time you heard me, either. Does that mean there's going to be a second one? There's going to be a second Colonel Sanders cooking game? I'd play it. If this class gets much smaller, I'll be teaching myself. Colonel Sanders. You and Colonel Sanders, the final cook, step up together. 2 chefs? What began as a bowl of delicious mac and cheese has become something else. He examines it closely, sniffing and eyeing the bowl. Uh-oh. I don't have a good feeling about this. From somewhere in the room, a literal drum roll plays. Just when I thought I've seen everything in this kitchen, you give me this thing, and it completely blows me away. In my 49 dog years of life, I've never tasted anything so delicious and perfectly balanced. It's so delicious, in fact, everyone passes the class. You pass, you pass, you pass, and you get a pass. Everyone gathers around to partake in the mac and cheese bowl, and it seems to transcend this reality into another dimension. Again, you win! Together, you and Colonel Sanders made a new menu item. The new menu item so impressive that even Van and Ashley are drawn back from the magnificent fragrance. And when you gaze upon your mac and cheese bowl, they admit that you are indeed an excellent chef. Sprinkles declares that you have passed. Everyone has passed! There were supposed to be more battles, but come on, how could you be better than this one? And now that the school year is complete, everyone has graduated. The students return for one last assignment, to get their groove on. The cafeteria has been completely redecorated in order to serve as the site for the school graduation dance. Compared to the massive high-tech cooking arena, the humble decor seems downright cute and cozy. DJ Dog in the house! Oh, oh, oh! You knew that Sparkle was Master Chef, but also a world-renowned turntablist? Who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Van and Ashley tell everyone that they've committed themselves to righting the wrongs that they did while they were villains. Okay. Alright. For a moment, you actually believe them. Not another haunting. No ghosts allowed at graduation! It's clearly written in the school bylaws! I was never actually a ghost. It was all a trick to get you to finally notice me! Oh, amusing. And now that everyone is together, it's the Spork Monster! He's totally mellowed out! Hey everyone, the Spork Monster is no more. From here on out, I prefer if everyone referred to me by my new name, Party Monster. Student tries to finish what he had to say, but everyone is too wrapped up talking about Spork. Sorry, Party Monster. Dejected student walks off. Maybe things didn't work out with Miriam romantically, but she found the love in cooking, and you know she's gonna do great. The red carpet rolls across the floor of the ballroom. It's like a Hollywood movie premiere. Who could command such an audience? Yeah, this is almost the end of the game. It's still been like an hour, another hour almost. I played this for like 2 hours yesterday. It's Pop. He arrived late to the dance, but apparently for a good reason. Walking the carpet, you see perched atop his dirty chef's hat. A crown? Welcome back, Pop. I know you weren't able to compete in the final exam and accept your diploma, so we had it mailed directly to your father. We figured at least we could do for the school's dean. Oh, I get it now. And we get a new wing of the school, not to mention the honor of education from the son of the Chandler such and such. The music of the dance is interrupted by the sound of sparking and electric hissing. It's Clank who has arrived late to the dance. Now that I have graduated, I can reveal my truth. Whoa, he's still doing the talking thing. I am Clank, and I am not of this earth. I am actually from a faraway planet in another dimension. What? What? I actually feel like I knew this the whole time. Now that I've learned the ways of your kind, I must return. Miriam, will you come with me? I don't know what to say. Besides, no, obviously. I had just begun to learn who I really am. And this isn't the time for me to devote myself to figure out who you are, Clank. You're blown away by Miriam's maturity. It's pretty clear she has managed to surpass you in that regard. Also, look at poor, sad little Clanky boy. I understand. Kind of. Humans are weird. A portal opens up and Clank disappears through it. Finally, Colonel Sanders arrives. Howdy, classmates. Just like the first day you met him, he comes prepared to feed the entire class. However, it's not enough for him to just give them buckets of chicken. It's time for a full meal. I didn't get to be the most famous chicken man in history of chicken and man by not reminding people to go out and buy my chicken. The end? Question mark? That's fair. No, it's not the end. As everyone feasts on their delicious chicken dinner, Colonel Sanders finds you sitting at the edge of the dance floor. Colonel Sanders? Yes, Violence? I couldn't help but wonder. Was our final exam team-up purely an act of strategy carried out by two very cunning chefs? Or was it something more? I'm afraid I can't answer that question directly. Instead, I'd like to ask you a question of my own. May I have this do-si-do? Colonel Sanders extends his hand to you. You feel a surge of energy jump off of his fingertips. His hand, the hand of a master chef, so delicate, so dedicated to the craft of fine cookery, so tender yet refined, so milky smooth, fingers like finely battered drumsticks, turned in flour and soaked in buttermilk, dusted with exotic spices. But they do not reach for tongs, a knife, or even a spork. The master of utensils. Tonight they reach for you. And though our feet may tire of dancing, I believe this is just the beginning of our steps together. Colonel Sanders, Will you not only join me on the dance floor, but in the kitchen as my co-chef and partner in both business and life? You gasp. Could it be? Is he really saying, me and you together? Ever since I met you, my dream has changed. It's not enough simply to open the world's greatest fried chicken chain restaurant. No, even then, my life would be incomplete without you by my side. So, what do you say, partner? I say, I love you, Colonel Sanders! For real, end? Wow, that was a life-changing 3 days. Overwhelmed by everything that just happened between you and Colonel Sanders, you step outside to get some air. The quad is dark and quiet. Too quiet. You start smelling something salty, potatoey, gravy-y. And then, Spork Monster appears. Hi, Violence! You have some pretty sweet dance moves back there. Why, thank you. You weren't too shabby yourself. That moonwalk you did was pretty cool. Oh, you noticed? I'm so embarrassed. Anyway, I had something to ask you. You see, life as a potato-like creature is difficult. I have no place to call home other than people's nightmares. Oh, I had no idea. I was wondering if you might be able to go home with you, permanently. I'll run out and get the paper in the morning and everything. What do you say? Of course I'm going to adopt the potato spork monster. Who wouldn't? My hero, I will forever be in your debt. The end. Seriously, though, this is really the end this time. Good job, KFC. You didn't need to make a full 4-hour game with a pretty wicked opening. Well, you didn't need to go that hard, KFC, but I kind of appreciate that you did. So, that's the end of the game. I think we successfully seduced Colonel Sanders. And I will see all of you guys tomorrow when we start something new. But I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye.